So we have been living in Fergus for over a year and a half now, and we have been using the same Leisure battery from day one, and now it's starting to slowly die, so we have to do something about that. And in today's video we have an exciting brand on board, and we are going to be swapping out our old Leisure battery for a brand new one. So let's dive right into the video and get this swapped. And you might notice that I am on my own. That is because poor Annie has got COVID, so she is in isolation, and I'm out here in the van on my own, so it's going to be me for today. I want to thank this week's video sponsor, which is LiTime. I'm going to leave them linked down below. You can go check them out. They have sent us out a 200 amp hour lithium ion Leisure battery that we are going to be replacing our old 95 amp hour battery with. So let's go swap this out and take a look what we have.
Hi guys, I can't be in the video with Shane because I got COVID. I don't know how Shane didn't get it. This is day, how many days is it?
5.
Yeah, this is day 5 and I'm almost negative, but there's still a faded line. So back to Shane.
So underneath the bench is where we have our electrical system. Then we have our 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 Leisure battery, which is 95 amp hour. And this here is our electrical circuit. So basically we have our split charge relay, we have our kill switch, and this here is our little fuse board. So this here battery is going out, and so is this. If we look in here, we have more presents down here. Before we move on any further, let's clean out all under here, and we have room to access the battery and move everything around. So let's get all this here out. I know in the last video we cleaned Fergus out, but we actually did go on a trip and we had to put stuff back in it in case we broke down, so we have to clean it all back out. So here is our old battery, 95 amp hour lead acid, and here is our new 200 amp hour lithium battery, which is quite some size difference, but this here I think is heavier. Okay, so it's the next day and we have this here ready to go. We have it all cut out and we can fit our new Leisure battery into it. But before we do that, let's do a little experiment, and we are going to weigh the two batteries to see how much of a difference there is between lithium and lead acid. I think the lead acid is going to be that little bit heavier, even though it is much smaller. So let's go get a set of scales. First of all, we have to clean the van because the van is an absolute mess again, but get a set of scales and weigh these two batteries. So we've got our trusty scales. Now it's time to weigh the batteries. We'll go with the new one first, which is the lithium, and that is So after weighing the batteries, the lead acid comes in at 26.2 kilos and the lithium comes in at just over 20 kilos. So there's a saving of over 6 kilos between the two batteries. Even though the lead acid is smaller, we're going to be losing 6 inches of storage underneath our bench, but I think that is worth it to have a lithium battery inside the van. So now we have the battery in place, and that is not going to go anywhere. That is fitting like a glove, so pretty pleased with that there. And surprisingly enough, you're not actually losing that much space, because with this battery we can get it up tighter into the wall and everything. We're probably realistically only losing probably about 3 to 4 inches. I know it's quite a bit, but it's not going to make a huge difference to us when we're on the road. And the next part of the circuit is going to be this Victron DC to DC charger. So it's quite a substantial size compared to the split charge relay that we were using, which is right here. So the size difference is huge. You can see this here is absolutely tiny. This here's quite a beast. So I'm going to have to get that screwed up and fit it into the wall. And I just checked the wire diagram. Shouldn't be too hard. There is only positive, ground and an out. So it shouldn't be too hard. Let's get this wired up and see how it is. We have the DC to DC charger installed. Battery is installed. I actually moved these here over too far, so now it's time to move them back a little bit more, just to give us a little bit more room around here. Now that the DC to DC charger is installed, people are probably wondering, why did I have to swap out my split charge relay? And that is because the battery that is in the van is a lead acid battery, and the battery that we are currently using now is going to be lithium. So there are two different types of batteries, and you can't use a lead acid with a lithium because then you're going to have trouble. So that's where the DC to DC charger comes in, and not the split charge relay. So that's why we had to go and buy the DC to DC charger. I think it was like €230, and we bought that on Amazon. But we can use this split charge relay for future van builds if we are going to be using lead acid, so that is not going to go to waste. And when it comes to wiring up the DC to DC charger, is very straightforward. You only have a positive coming in, a ground, and a positive going out that it connects up to your battery. So it's very, very straightforward. You get this little booklet that comes with it, and it basically just helps you understand what sort of wiring diagram you have to follow if your van has a smart alternator, or if it's just a regular old alternator. But you can flick through the book, it tells you everything you need to know, and it's basically just like the simple setups, and that is all you have to do. Very straightforward. So now it's time to go wire it up and connect up the battery. So now everything is connected up. We have our 200 amp hour Leisure battery, we have our DC to DC converter, we have our kill switch, we have our fuse board. Now it's time just to tidy up all these wires and make that look nice and pretty so we can finish this off. So now everything is put into place. We have the battery connected up, all wired up, and we have the DC to DC converter also wired up. But there's only one thing left to do, and that is to add this little guy right here, which comes with the Victron DC to DC converter, and that is just a loop, and it's basically a jumper cable that you connect up, and that allows you to connect to it via Bluetooth. So let's connect this here up to the Victron and get it downloaded on our phone so we can check the state of the battery via Bluetooth, which is going to be so handy, so we don't have to keep looking back checking the little screen to see what voltage the battery is at. We can just do it from our phone. So let's get this connected up. So here is our 200 amp hour Leisure battery. This here is all our wiring, this is all our positives. All our negatives are down here. That is the negative of the van, that's the common one. And then here is our DC to DC converter with our power in, our ground, and our power out. We have our kill switch, and we have our mini fuse board right here, and that is our whole entire electrical system. So when it comes to wiring up your DC to DC converter, it's very, very simple, and you shouldn't have to worry about it. All you basically have to do is take a positive cable coming from your alternator in your engine bay up to here, and you screw it into this terminal. The next one is your ground, so that you have to ground it, and then this one is your power out. So basically the power coming from your engine will come in here, come back out here, and it'll connect up to your battery, allowing you to charge while you drive. Now that we have lost over 6 inches of storage space underneath the bench, let's see, does the famous toolbox actually still fit? So, if this doesn't fit, then I don't know what we're going to do, because this has to come with us. This was actually made for in here. It's crazy how tight this is. There's the edge of the bed. There's the edge of the battery. This toolbox was made for here. So once you have everything connected up, it is time to get your phone, download the app, and connect it via the app. The app is called Victron Connect, and it looks something like this. And all you have to do is download the app, open it up, turn on Bluetooth on your phone, and then start searching, and you will find your Victron device. Now sometimes the code is very simple as 6 zeros, or it comes with a little sticker with a pin on it, and that is the pin that you use to connect your phone to the device. And then from there it is very simple. It tells you when you are charging, what your voltage is at, the current, everything you need to know is in the app, and it's very, very simple to use. So really handy. It's going to be a huge upgrade for us, because sometimes we'd be driving and we're like, is the battery charging? What's the battery at? And you try to have to turn around to see, can she see the little screen on our display panel, But now, once we have it on an app, we fit to open it up, check it out, and within... Oh no, I don't have Bluetooth on. There is our device, click it, and there we go. We are connected. It can tell you that the engine is turned off, it's not charging, but once we turn the engine on, it will detect it, and then when it gets to a certain voltage, it will start charging our leisure battery, and then hopefully we will have no more nights where we have to drive around trying to get our batteries charged, because the fridge has been running all day, the lights have been on, and it's just draining our battery. So right now we are sitting at 13.3 volts, and already we are seeing a massive difference. With our leisure battery, it will be dead in 2 minutes. So there you have it, guys. That is the battery fitted, the Victron DC to DC charger fitted, and it turns out that we didn't lose much space whatsoever. Although we did lose 6 inches, it didn't really make a difference, because we can still get our famous toolbox underneath here, because we cannot travel without a toolbox, because we use it every single week. And we can also get our jack under there, and there is loads of storage for other things, so we didn't really lose much in that aspect, but we did gain a lot in terms of the battery. We have 200 amp hours now instead of 95 amp hours, so it's going to make a huge difference when we are traveling full time in this van. So that is all for today's video. It probably wasn't exciting as our travel videos, but it's just a little bit of an upgrade on what we are doing to 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. We have already started doing some of them, and one of them is we changed the ramps on the back door, so now the door opens really quickly and it stays open, not like the last one where it kind of like drooped down. It was getting a bit frustrating, and we are almost hitting our heads. Luckily we are small, but if you're any taller you would have been hitting your head all the time. So that it is for today's video. Thanks very much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and the next video it'll be me and Annie back again doing something fun and exciting, and we'll catch you then. Thanks for watching, we'll see you then.